Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is the Vikings Garage. And today I am going to tackle a video that I've been dwelling for the longest time to make. Why? Because today I'm going to show you guys what is the correct way of changing a flat tire. Although my car does not have a flat tire. So this video, by the way, was an idea of my sister-in-law, and my wife tends to agree. She told me this is actually a pretty good idea for a video. So this one is for you ladies. Pay attention. This is how it gets done. Okay, let's get right to it. I am going to be reading this stuff off the paper because honestly, guys, this is very important things. And you would think, changing a flat tire, how complicated can that be? It's actually not that complicated for a guy like me. It would come natural, but I'm not making this video for guys like myself. I'm making this video for that one person out there that hasn't had a flat, which is pretty impressive. Props to you. I've actually had a flat tire plenty of times. That's aside the point. And the reason why I want to emphasizing these points is because they are important. So let's start off with the very first one. When you do realize you have a flat, the first thing you need to do is pull over as safely as possible to the shoulder. Now, I know this one might be a bit of a catch because, oh, as I'm falling. What if there isn't a shoulder? That can become a little sketchy. I have been in that position, and the best advice I can give you is get as close to the side as possible, get out of the car and wait for help. That's one way. Or ride on the flat, obviously by coming to a slower speed. Obviously, when you have a flat tire, you want by all means drive as slow as possible, because if you continue driving at the speed you're going, you're most likely either going to lose control of the car or you're going to damage something. That tire is going to be shredding into pieces. None of this is a good situation. I'm sure you guys seen the videos out there, sketchy stuff. Guys, don't do any of that. If there isn't a shoulder, and if you don't want to pull over and wait for help, because obviously it looks very dangerous, at a slower speed, go to the nearest either exit or area that you can safely pull away from the road. So this would be step number one. And after you have parked in a safe location, then I know that safety, the word safety is going to be used quite several times in this video. There is a reason for that. Guys, don't take this lightly. The changing of a flat tire can be very dangerous indeed. By all means, there's a reason why I'm emphasizing some of these steps, is because I don't want anybody out there getting hurt. Unfortunately, there are quite a several number of fatalities over the years because of somebody that didn't follow every single one of these steps. Not trying to scare anybody. You can totally change your own spare tire. Don't let this scare you, but do please, yes, take it serious, because it is serious. When you're on the side of a highway, I don't have to tell you, these cars are going at very high speeds, and the last thing I want is somebody getting hurt because they didn't do as best as they could have. And that is one of the reasons why I'm making this video. So let's get right to it. So once you have found a safe spot, if you don't know how to perform this, by all means, listen. You can always call for help. AAA is a name that comes to mind, but I have absolutely no doubt that you guys can pull this off. And I'm going to show you how. So once you have found a safe location, it is kind of smart to try to find an area that has a solid ground. Of course, if you go into the gravel or the grass, things might get a little more difficult. Still doable, but if you can have a solid ground like I have behind me over here, this is actually the driveway, then you're better off, and you will see in a second why. The next step, after you park, as important as everything I've been telling you, turn on your hazards. Make sure you got those hazards going. That way, people can see you from a distance, and they know what that means. By all means, maybe perhaps swerve into the following lane, or be aware that somebody is experiencing some sort of a stress, or they are in the middle of something up ahead. Therefore, they can be aware of your presence. Set your parking brake. This one is actually very, very important and could be very easily overlooked. You want to set your parking brake because once you do raise this car, you want to make sure that it is not going to roll on you. And that's why you should always set the parking brake. So the very next step is obviously exiting the car. And obviously somewhere in your trunk, hopefully you're going to have one of the next items, or maybe even two. Two would be even ideal. First one would be a reflective vest. This is definitely something that everybody should have in the trunk of their car, right next to your tools. You can find them at the dollar store, I believe, for a very inexpensive price. If you have a triangle, set up the triangle a little bit of ways behind your car, obviously staying away from the highway at all times. And there are also those flares that you can light up and put on the floor. And unfortunately, it would look really cool for this video, but I don't have any. I don't know what happened to them. Go figure. So let's go ahead and put the vest on. And once you're all, geared up for action, per se, your next step is to find your tool pouch and your jack, of course. Now those, you might ask, where would they be hidden? They're really not hidden. Most vehicles have them in the trunk. This happens to be a RAV4 2020, just as an example car, but I'm going to go ahead and show you live here where those things are located, usually. So you open the trunk, and some cars have compartments on the side, that side. Either way, you got to do a little exploring based on the car you have. There you have it. There's your jack, and that is your pouch with your tools. Now we're going to go ahead and remove both of those, and I'll show you the next step. All right, there you have it. There's your jack. Definitely very useful tool. And your tool pouch. This is just your very standard tool pouch. Nothing crazy to see here, really. This is definitely going to be very useful. You are not going to need this one at this time. This would only be used if your car was getting towed. All right, now I do have the jack somewhat positioned over there, but it is important the location where you're going to place it. So let's go ahead and take a look right here in this corner. This is the exact location where you want to put the jack. Some people might argue with you and say, oh, it's not there, it's here, there. Listen, guys, this is where the manufacturer wants you to put the jack so that it doesn't bounce around or move about, and it stays uniform and in a solid location for you to be able to raise the car properly. Now that you know the exact spot where you'll jack up this car, it is important to note that before you go ahead and start raising it up, you don't do it just quite yet. You want to just set it up, right, in the correct location, but don't jack it all the way up, because you want a solid ground and a good firm area for you to be able to crack loose those lug nuts. And that is exactly what we're going to do right now. So this guy, we're going to put it to the side for now. And this is the tool that you are going to need. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So towards the front of the car. And you want, of course, to do this with all, in this case, 5 of them. You loosen them all. Whew. Getting a workout. And this guy too. And that's that. You can now go ahead and start raising this guy just enough to where the wheel and tire will clear the ground. That is enough height. You don't need to go all the way up with the jack. Oh, and by the way, it's not really a trick. I'm just showing you guys how these tools actually work. That does have a loop, and there's a reason for that. You want to insert that like so, and you're left with a hook there. Care to guess why I did that? Check this out. You now insert that one, and you got yourself leverage to raise this jack up. Again, guys, this is kind of the end result. What you're looking for is just enough for this tire to clear the ground. You don't need more than that. There's about a quarter of an inch, if that, between that tire and the ground. That's all you need. So now, being that I didn't show you guys this before, it's probably also a good time now to remove your spare tire, which in this case sits here in the trunk. Super easy. You got this knob, again, same deal. Righty tight, lefty loose. You take it all the way out and you're good to go. Grab it like so and pull it out. So now you grab your wrench one more time with the wheel all the way in the air, and you're gonna go ahead and take the lug nuts all the way out. Nothing to it. Of course, place them in a location where you can find them because you're going to need them. Once you've done that, this is actually the part of the deal here that I want to share a short story with you guys. I remember my father actually telling me this trick, and I was a small boy, and I'm obviously going to pass this on to my son. But at the time, I didn't quite understand why he emphasized on me knowing this. But just follow me on this, guys, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So once you loosen up this wheel, the one that does have the flat, where should you place it? I'm going to show you right now. You basically roll it, lay it flat, and right there. Now, I'm sure some of you already know why I just did that. There's a very good reason. This is basically safety for you, just in case that jack gives out, the car doesn't fall all the way on the ground. It will fall on top of the spare. Not to mention, you know, nobody wants to get hurt, so that is a very good tip. But let's go ahead and mount the spare on the car now. All right, now you've gotten this far, you're probably saying to yourself, wow, I mean, how do I mount this? I understand some of you are probably laughing because you think this is pretty basic stuff, but some of the people out there don't know. So what you want to do is you want to look for the surface of the wheel that does have the valve stem. Of course, I might want to show it on camera, the valve stem. So what you do is mount the surface to the outside, and that is what are we going to do right now. It should be pretty simple because you have enough clearance to do so. And now, again, just start your lug nuts one by one, no rushing. You've gotten this far, you're doing great, you're almost there. So now again, super important detail here. What I want you to do is torque the wheels ever so slightly in a crisscross pattern. But when I say torque them, I don't want you to go crazy because remember, it is still up in the air. But check this out, this is what you want to do. So say you start there, tighten that guy, and then you go across from him, tighten that guy, go across, tighten that guy, again, across, tighten this guy, and last but not least, tighten that guy. Leave it like so, because the final torquing is only going to be done when the vehicle is lowered on its own weight. So now that your spare tire is mounted, you can now go ahead and place your flat tire in the trunk. This way, when you lower the car, it's not going to be interfering with this operation. So once you've done that, now you can go ahead and lower the car down all the way. Once again, same kind of story. Place it like so to make your life easier. And now you want to go the opposite direction to lower the car. And of course, you're going to go all the way down. You are eventually going to put these guys back in the trunk, but before you do that, of course, again, very important, now, again, in the crisscross shape, like a star shaped form, you're going to go ahead and do the final torque on these lug nuts. So let's go ahead and do that. there you have it. We're gonna go ahead, put these tools away, and you're done. We just changed the tire on this car. Yeah, you should probably expect your hands to get dirty, but hey, you know what? You changed your own tire. How cool is that? And as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to smash that like button. If you enjoyed the video and you feel like this type of information is useful to you, don't forget to subscribe. All of you that have subscribed, I want to take this time to say thank you. It means the world to me. Your support is what keeps this channel alive. And until next time, I will catch you guys on the next one.